go to Martin Orthopedics, every member of the team aims to help patients return to their normal daily activities or playing the sport they love without pain. Whether it's your knee, hip, or shoulder, the physicians at Martin Orthopedics stand ready to assist. For more information or to set up your consultation online, go to martinortho.care.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Wes Moore. Coming up Monday on Out of Bounds, it's a weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services. And we got football to talk about. Arkansas starting up their fall camp. We'll recap all the practices over the weekend. Take a look at A-State, UCA, UAPB, all the schools, plus high school football, getting closer and closer to high school football kicking things off. All that and much more coming up Monday on Out of Bounds.
You're in the zone, coming to you live from the Oaklawn Hot Springs Studio. Oaklawn, Arkansas's only casino resort. Now, here's Justin Acri and DJ Williams on the Buzz Radio Network.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. Like, he doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. Feels so unlike everybody else, alone in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know, but no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality.
I like the way they've picked it up. It all started when they showed up in January, and Andreas got the whole group together. He's like, we're going go-karting, and took them all out. They hit the ground running. Like, we've had enough transfers, we've had enough movement that they know the faster we could mesh together, the faster we get along, the better we're going to be as a team. And that started right away. I was really impressed with how they did that, and that's just helped all the way through to where we are now.
All right, welcome in to the zone on a Monday. We are live at War Memorial Stadium. It is the 2025 lineup announcement for the Little Rock Touchdown Club. It is presented by our friends at Simmons Bank, which is also a big major sponsor here at War Memorial Stadium. So the connection makes perfect sense. DJ Williams is kicking it today. He's off and is going to be doing his show tonight down at the Mainline Sports Bar in Hot Springs. So he took a day and is going to hang out with his buddy Matt Harris, who's going to join him tonight. So it's unfortunate. Timing's not great because we're going to talk a lot about tight ends today, or hear a lot about the tight ends from the tight ends. And also we're going to hear from a little more from tight ends coach, Morgan Turner, who you just heard from there. Scott Fountain over the weekend talking a little bit about what's going on with special teams, competition there. And Arkansas did get an announcement of a couple of honors or preseason watch list guys. I guess they're not really honored yet, but they're on the list, including their wide receiver and return specialist, Cam Shanks, who averaged over 20 yards a punt return at UAB. So he is a potential key cog for Arkansas. We're going to have a few guests on from here, including, but not limited to, Freddie Black will join us 10:30. We'll talk a little golf because they are hosting the Simmons Bank Championship again over at Pleasant Valley Country Club. So we'll talk to him about that and their other sports interests. And then we will get another guest on from Simmons Bank once we get our announcement on the upcoming Touchdown Club lineup, which we are thrilled to look forward to hearing today on the show. So that'll be in the 11 o'clock hour. And we've also got Trey Biddy, I think at 10:45. We're trying to slide a couple things around here. But Cam on the Paul Horning Award watch list, and he's on one other preseason watch list as well. So he's certainly a guy that people will expect big things from this season. And then Cam Ball got a little love. He's on the Werfel Trophy watch list. That is the premier award for community service. And I was like, well, that's weird to have a defensive lineman being in the running for an award named after a quarterback, but that's the reason why. So there you go. Busy weekend recap as well. We've got Gameballs and Jockstraps. That's brought to you by our friends at Caddies Touch Landscape. And we will also, have a little bit of a red wire report. It'll be very brief because we'll get into the announcement right after that. I'm sure there'll be some Arkansas connections with the announcement today as far as the folks who are going to come in and speak. And then we got a little bit from the Hall of Fame over the weekend, the NFL Hall of Fame. So, plenty to get to. Christian, how are we doing today?
Doing well, doing well.
What'd you do this weekend?
I didn't do a whole lot. other than we took Tice to the park a couple times. Went out to eat with my parents. It was their 36th anniversary this weekend. So congrats. To them.
That's awesome. No doubt.
And watched some movies. Cleaned the house, prepared for the baby to come. Probably going to happen in the next week or so. So.
Yeah.
It's upon us.
When's your actual due? I know. When's your actual due date?
Induction will happen on the 12th if we don't have the baby. So.
Okay.
By then.
So that's okay. I got you. What's today? The 4th. So a little over a week away.
Yeah.
Unless we get it before. Did we say what we're having?
A girl. We're having a girl.
Okay. All right. That's right. I thought that was right. One of each, and then we'll just see whatever happens on the third one, right?
I don't think there'll be a third one.
You don't?
No.
You never know.
Don't plan for there to be a third one.
Do you want to? Okay. I do want to recap quickly, I guess, the weekend that was, and we set the stage for the Pine Bluff 4-Ball, which is an annual event that I've attended a number of times, 61st version of it, and it was a lot of fun, and got to go back and hang out on 13 again this year and host with the tournament director, Matt Soto, so I appreciate Matt indulging me and let me come back this year. My brother had never played in a 4-ball before, Christian, and he had a blast, and he's already committed to coming back next year, so we had a good time, and I certainly appreciate everybody there. Chef, I thought, did a phenomenal job. Had some big shoes to fill stepping in there, but he did an amazing job. Food was spectacular all weekend long. We talked to the new pro, Maurice Prinsloo, on the show on Friday with the cool South African accent. Looking forward to spending a little more time with him, hopefully on the driving range and getting my game right. I got to thank my friends Ben and Lala Trevino, who were kind enough to host my brother and myself this weekend at their house, so that was fun. And then across the way from them, the Joneses, Bill and Sherry, took care of us in a couple of ways. We got to go hang out their house a little bit, and they also took us all out to dinner, had a big group out for dinner on Saturday night, and got to spend a little time with Torrey Hunter. We had him on Friday briefly. He was in between holes on Friday in his round, and apparently they had a good weekend. I'm not sure if they ended up winning their flight or not, but I think they won their first 2 days, and he and his partner were having a good time. But, man, Matt Kemp came by. He was really cool, good dude. Jock Jones was a good sport. We gave him a hard time on the tee box when he was at 13, and that's one of Torrey's old teammates up in Minnesota. And then Brandon Dean, Christian, was there as well, and you remember Brandon pretty well. Looks like he could still play, but an absolute freak show as far as athleticism goes. When he got up there, I was like, you probably remember Brandon Dean. I said one of the most ridiculous athletes that ever played basketball at the University of Arkansas, and he kind of stepped away from the ball and he said, facts. And then we called the Hogs while he was teeing off, so he certainly did not shy away from that description of his game. But he was a guy that could jump out of the gym, super, super duper athletic and exciting. And, he's kind of in that rarefied air for me. I mean, there's only a few guys I can think of that are kind of on that level. I think about Qualls. Michael Qualls would be another guy in recent history that would be sort of on par to some degree with Brandon Dean as far as the athleticism. Yeah. And neither guy went on to have an NBA, career of note, but they were both really good and both got paid to play after their Arkansas careers. So I'm not sure what he's doing now, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
Matt Kemp was a really good player. I want to say he was second in MVP voting one year. Like he had 40 home runs, 120 RBIs or something like that. He was a good player.
I think he led the league. Yeah, a very good player and super nice. These guys are all so humble, and for them to come and support Torrey's hometown with, coming to the event is really a cool thing. I think, he was like one of the dudes. Like Matt Kemp was one of the guys. He hit like 280-something career. He was a really, really good hitter. And
he dated Rihanna too.
He either led. Short time. We did not bring that up. He's got a cool nickname too, the Bison, which I didn't realize was his nickname until this weekend. But he was among the leaders or top of the heap, I think, in the National League with RBIs a couple times. But yeah, really, really good player. So, and those guys were just they were just average dudes. They were having a good time. Didn't big dog anybody. I mean, they were just as easy to approach as anybody else at the tournament, and I really appreciate that. And I think it was awesome that, Torrey comes back to support that tournament in his hometown, and I think it's really, really cool that they come back with him and play. But I think everybody had a really good time, and we got so lucky with the weather. Sometimes it's hotter than Hades down there, but it was fantastic this weekend, and anybody doing anything outside, I'm sure the football team was thankful for that they didn't have the hottest of weekends. They've also moved, DJ was complaining last week about the 6 o'clock starts for practice. Well, they're moving into the 9 o'clock hour now this week, and so we're going to get some results, I guess, from practice, some sound. Today the wide receivers are in focus, and We're going to hear more from the tight ends here in a sec, but I think it'll be really interesting to hear what the wide receiver group is looking like. It's coming together. I thought it was cool, too, the story that Morgan Turner just told in the tight ends about Poshka taking the guys under his wing and taking them out to go karting. And I was reading some further comments from some of the guys. Jaden Platt, he was talking about how he thought that maybe Poshka had been out there practicing a little bit. Apparently, he was a pretty accomplished driver, trying to show off.
Yeah.
A little bit. But,
later in, I didn't grab the clip, but Rohan Jones said he did not enjoy going to the go-karting thing. He said he was throwing up after doing it. So, but
oh, really?
Yeah. But you talked about how other people did in their flights. How did you guys do?
So I will tell you this: I'm not proud of this, but whatever. We got flighted a little higher than I thought we would, and that's no excuse. We didn't play great, but we played some guys who really played well the first day. And we lost the first day. And so once you lose the first day, it's the best you can do is fourth place. So we did win our second. We were able to win our second day, but we were both beat on Sunday. We were up so late for the first couple nights, and I was like, "You want to forfeit?" And he's like, "I don't care." So we just came back. They do this incredible Sunday lunch. They had beef tenderloin and this fried chicken that's off the charts. Dessert tray was incredible. So we smashed a huge lunch and came back and laid at the pool in the afternoon yesterday. So we were kind of lazy, but one up, one down. So all in all, fun, though. We had a good time. My brother had a blast, like I said. So, yeah, it was good. We played okay. I mean, I think we were both capable a little bit better, but I didn't play horrific most of the weekend, so that was good. I was not very confident going in. But it was good.
How many people total would you say play in this event?
8 teams, whatever that is.
Wow, that's
around 100 teams, probably. It's a lot of dudes. And everybody's got their significant other with them, right? Or at least a lot of guys do, unless yours was out of town, like my situation. Same for my brother. So he was my +1 the whole weekend. But I mean, it's a lot of folks. They do a great job. It's a pretty overwhelming thing. And the thing that's incredible to me is the staff, and I'm sure all the four balls are like this around the state, but staff's there till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. Then they're back in there at 4 or 5 in the morning getting ready for the next day. It's got to be just exhausting for them in a different way than it is for us. But I certainly applaud the effort, and they did a great job handling everything this weekend. So, all right, let's get back to tight end talk at Arkansas. We'll take some of this up with Trey Biddy a little bit later, 10:45. We've got a guest coming up in about 10 minutes too from Simmons Bank. But this is Rohan Jones. Interesting story for him, and he comes to Arkansas from one of the elite FCS programs in the nation, Montana State. Bobcats in the national championship game last year. And we got a couple clips from him talking about being at Montana State and his journey overall as a football player and why he decided that Arkansas was a good fit for him.
I think I adjusted pretty well because I think we have a good tight end group, a good tight end coach, and just like I think we have a lot of good people in the offense that facilitated the adjustment for me. And I think it's the same thing for Jaden and all the new guys on offense. I think we all work together to like get up to the standard of the offense. So it's been a pretty fun journey, but it was pretty cool. Through my whole journey, like as a Canadian football player, I think it was just like challenges and adversity I would need to be. So from Maine, I know like it wasn't the best experience because we weren't like a really high level program and we weren't very good. But I think like just putting in the work every day and striving for my goals. From there, I transferred to Montana State. We had a really great season, and I had a great time there. It was amazing. But then we had a coaching change, and my OC left. So I knew, like, it might not be the same thing this upcoming year. So I just wanted to see, like, what opportunities were open to me because I think I had worked hard, and I knew I could make another jump. And then talking with Coach Turner, Coach Petrino, and I knew, like, coming here would be a great fit for me. And I came on the visit, and I didn't even leave after.
Well, there you go. What a journey for him. From Canada to Maine. So former Black Bear, former Bobcat, now Razorback. Kind of interesting road to where he is today. And I'm sure Arkansas guys are happy to have him. So a little circuitous route for him. And then you've got Platt, who is connected to Coach Petrino from his time at A&M. And talked a little bit this weekend about the difference between the two programs and also the experience of playing under Coach Petrino and how that might help him this year.
I would say the biggest difference is the culture and the family at Arkansas. You know, kind of when I came here, the family aspect of things hit me right away. Like, here I could go up to any guy in the locker room. It doesn't matter position, weight, or height, whatever it is. I could go up to him and have a conversation and it be real, and that's something that I appreciate, and I'm sure everyone else does. Everything is like a family, and the meaning one hog, like that's true. It's true what it is. Yes, I think there was a lot of overlap, and I really appreciate Coach Petrino. He's always believed in me. Ever since I was at A&M, he's always telling me, you have the talent to do what you want to do. You just got to go do it. And that's kind of followed here, and like I said, I really appreciate all that he's done and all the support he sparks this year.
Let's hope so. I like Sparks. We are joined now by Chris Kane, who is closely associated with the Touchdown Club. Is that better?
I think that's an appropriate way to put it. Closely associated.
Do you have an official title?
No, I think that's perfect, though. I you know what I am? I'm the gopher.
Die tomorrow, and we were going to keep the Touchdown Club intact.
I would be a part of the people who kept it going.
Yes.
Yes, the group, the team.
You can't.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hi.
You can't get Basil's production.
Yes.
Like replace it 1-to-1. You have to do it in aggregate. And Chris Kane will be part of it.
Yes. Yeah, it's the Moneyball formula. Let's play catcher.
Yeah.
I can't do a whole lot, but I can I can try.
Yeah.
Maybe play first.
Play first? I mean, it's not that hard, right?
It's
incredibly hard. Yes. Anyway, so
Scott Hasberg, that's right.
Scott Hasberg, yeah, that's right. The buzz on the street, and there might be somebody who is quote unquote controversial or multiple controversials coming in this year. And then we started banding about who might be on the controversial list, and we tried a couple, and we're like, nah. And so we mentioned Shannon Sharpe, and I'm like, I still don't think Shannon Sharpe is controversial. I think he has done some things that are a little bit odd, but I don't know.
That's fair.
There has been some pushback, I think, on a couple of guys that came in. I mean, some people were like, I think there was a little bit of negative energy around Gruden before he came.
Yeah.
And he fell on his sword so well. I think it ended up being great.
Oh, my.
They've all been salvaged nicely. Bobby Petrino, when he came, there were a few people like, why is he coming? So,
I think
again,
Favre may be the most, because his controversy was pretty recent when it happened.
Guy away from controversy. He embraces it, as you know. In fact, he likes to create controversy.
He does.
In his time, in his spare time.
I have often said that he is the guy that pulls the pin in the grenade and rolls in a room and it explodes, and he says, I don't know what happened.
And laughs about it.
Yes.
Yes. I would say there. You know what's interesting? I think there's more than one this year. I would argue. And when you see the list, you'll know which one I'm talking about, but it's not going to be for the same reasons.
Somebody up for debate as to the most controversial ever?
Yes. I would say so.
Is Ray Caruth is alive, I believe. He got out of prison.
I would say we are prepared as an organization to embrace controversy and also to even explain, or not even explain, just to say, hey, look, we're bringing this person in because we think it's the forum where they can tell their story. So I would say that you're in for a treat, but also you're in for some speakers this year that you're going to go, that person is arguably one of the greatest to ever do what they did in both college or pro sports.
I
will tell you that Shannon Sharpe is not on the list, unfortunately. I will break that news.
Well, you didn't say Sterling wasn't, now did you?
But I will also tell you that when Basil was going through all this, had he known that he was going to be leaving ESPN, because if you look at Shannon Sharpe's schedule, it's pretty thin, and he's, I think, just doing his podcasts among some other side things. I wish we could, if they had just let him go about a month earlier, then maybe we could have threaded a needle and said, hey, why don't you come and tell your side of the story here, because it's a great forum for it. But hopefully he'll be doing the same thing he's doing next year, which coincidentally, I don't know if you know this, he has permanent part of the podcast. He's a regular guest with the Chad Johnson Ocho Cinco.
Yeah.
And Shannon Sharpe podcast. Joe Johnson's a regular. Now, he comes on pretty frequently and cuts it up with those guys. So we need to reach out to Joe and see if we can make that connection to Shannon and get him back here.
It's a different production, the one that does with like a sit down in the room with the nice big chairs.
It's different.
That's a good one too. He does a great one-on-one interview.
That's what I mean by he has a lot of things going on the side. Working at ESPN, I mean, it's great for promotional purposes.
Yeah.
But unless you're a guy like Pat McAfee or Stephen A. Smith who are making tens of millions of dollars, it's just
what makes you socially relevant where your podcast becomes important.
That's exactly right.
DJ doesn't have to work at the Buzz, but it makes his podcast a little more important.
No question.
Nothing. Johnny Manziel was mentioned. That might fit under the sort of the description that you gave us there. One of the one of the all-time greats in collegiate football. I mean,
he is.
As a freshman, Heisman Trophy winner. So
yeah, I mean, and a guy who has been to Arkansas before.
Yep.
I don't know if
multiple times.
I don't know if
to play football and to hunt.
That's right.
Yep.
No, I think you're going to find some really good stories when you're talking with them. You're going to have fun doing some research on some of these guys. And even and Basil teased it a little bit on the morning show, so I don't mind saying it. He doesn't like to bring people back unless he's bringing someone back where their life has changed in some way since they've been here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will tell you, one of the guests that is going to be joining us is coming back.
Returner. Okay.
Is a returner, but their life changed since the last time they appeared at
Trino. Cannot wait to see him again. Just hung out with them.
Think about when Houston came back. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, remember that you talk about Bobby coming back, but that was a healing moment for, I think, the football community when Houston came back, because there's a lot of people that still have hard feelings about that divorce and how that ended.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's a regular on the morning show, comes back, and I think there's
was 7 years. I mean,
so he's in the market. He's on the market.
He's available.
He's available.
He's available for. I mean, he could probably use the cash at this point. I don't know how much. I'm guessing that orchestrating the murder of your baby mama and the child are probably not good from a standpoint of a.
Did we ever hear his
PR,
side of the story?
PR move, from a PR move or a financial move? I'm guessing things have not gone great for him. Yes, Christian, we did. That's how he ended up in prison. And so,
never say never, but I'm gonna say that there's a very strong chance that won't happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
Very strong.
Get deep in the controversy bucket and maybe pull a Ray Caruth out.
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of other controversial figures I'd bring in over there.
There'll be a lot of dominoes that would have to fall to get to that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can
you
we
have to pay us?
Can we assume that we know Sam Pittman's coming? Can we assume that Nathan Brown will be part of the mix? Check and David have mended enough fences that Hunter's going to come down here?
You can assume as such.
Okay.
You can make that assumption. You know what's interesting? We got the social media numbers back.
Yeah.
And David loves to, tout those, right? Hunter Yurchek had one of the highest social media totals from last year. Do you remember what caused that?
Yeah, he was talking about money. He was talking about getting people to kick in cash.
Do you remember the line that he used that kind of set people off?
He's talking about
it was like, what's 150 a month, or I forget what it was.
He said if 10,000 Arkansans gave $100 a month, then we would be up there with Ole Miss, and people did not take too kindly to that comment.
Yeah.
But it made the rounds. I've noticed Brett Favre, one of the highest last year as well in terms of engagement. It wasn't off. Oh yeah, out of state or Ole Miss, which I consider out of state. The Ole Miss faithful on social media lit that up. I mean, it was like a firestorm for which we just watched the engagement go up, thanks to Brett Favre and his hatred for Ole Miss.
Question of the day today is, who was your favorite guest of all time? Who's been your favorite guest, not as far as what they did when they were on the hot seat, but as far as interactions, anybody that stands out as far as just great moments with them?
It happened so long ago that I think some people forgot about it. Not everyone. There are some people who are like, yeah, he's kind of scary.
Oh, he is scary.
I mean, he did try to fight you.
He didn't try to fight me,
no.
But he did say
the way he interacted with everybody afterwards and how he was. There were kids going up on stage, and he's this big, intimidating figure, and he got down on their level and was like, hey, man, how are you today? Great to see you. And just couldn't have been more engaging.
Yeah.
He was hugging grandmas that were coming up, giving them big hugs, and he had personal stories that they were sharing with me. It was almost spiritual at times.
Yeah.
And I thought that was one of the cooler moments I've seen at the Touchdown
No, he's
Club.
got a little preacher in him, there's no doubt.
Definitely.
Yeah, he was impressive. And I enjoyed him, even though he was.
What about you? You get to interview all the peers.
They're also good. You know, like last year with Favre, I about crapped my pants because we had a technical issue right when he sat down, and I was like, I'm going to kill someone.
You ran
now.
You ran a 3.940 to get down to your car to grab something like that. It wasn't clocked officially. It was
if you count like me running down the escalator, maybe.
Yes,
I mean, that might be good. But that was a good moment, and I was I loved. I've always been a Ray Lewis defender. Some people who talk smack about how he'd murder. No, come on, calm down.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
I always jokingly say he brought a knife to a gunfight and won. So there aren't too many guys that can do that. So good for him.
I'll tell you this: his appearance last year will stick with me. Just how, because when I stand on the stage afterwards and just kind of make sure everybody gets on and off, I was just able to kind of be present. It was moving. It really was.
He was like I thought he would be. Most of the guys are like I think they would be. Like Urban Meyer was like I thought he would be. That's not a good thing. And then John Gruden is exactly like I thought he'd be. A very good thing.
Yeah.
Favre, I think, is, again, I don't know all the things that went on. I don't know what. A pretty humble guy and a very approachable guy. And he seemed like a guy's guy, which is exactly what I expected from him.
So one other thing I'll tell you that happened behind the scenes that I was glad to see. So Peyton Manning, there was no pictures, no nothing, right? Like he was very business, very in and out.
Mm-hmm.
There was one little kid in a Colts jersey. And when we were ushering him out afterwards to get him to the elevator, this little kid had seen him and just kind of leaned behind the curtain and said, Mr. Manning, can I please get your autograph? And Peyton was adamant beforehand about no. And so we were kind of like, man, I'm sorry. And Peyton goes, get the kid over here.
Oh.
And so kid came back. He signed his jersey, gave him a high five. I was like, okay, it's good to see there's some out the business and everything we see, the performance that we see on stage, there is some human still element to him that he's able to make some concessions.
You know, two guys that we haven't talked a lot about since, but Jimbo Fisher and Dan Mullen were spectacular.
Yeah.
Dan Mullen didn't want to leave.
He was super nice.
And Jimbo, one of the most, this will stick with me forever, changed my feelings about Jameis Winston.
Really?
And I think Jameis Winston, since that time, over the last really couple of years, has done so many things to support Jimbo Fisher's position on him. I think he's really a good dude.
Well, he seems to, he learned from that moment in a way that
Which one?
Well, the first
The
one.
moments.
Yeah, not the crab legs, the other one.
There have been a couple, three.
But, there's a bell, and not that he had that, but, he just got so much publicity, he spiraled.
Right.
And Jameis instead grew from it. And a freshman, he was a freshman when all that went down.
Right.
And to see him grow into it and become this almost beloved character in the NFL now, where before he was kind of a punchline.
Right.
Now I think you're right. I think the opportunity to knew the character underneath all that was pure.
Yeah. Chris Kane with us. We got to hit a break. Appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely.
We'll talk some more. Freddie Black standing by from Simmons Banks. So we'll hit a break. We're going to talk a little golf with him and see what's going on with their championship event that is through the roof success. And one of the favorite events for the tournament players from last year. And I'm sure that'll be the case again this year. We can pick up the whole thing and move it over there if you need to. All right, we're back in a second. We're at War Memorial Stadium. It's the 2020 Bank, and we're back in a second.
Get in the conversation with YFN feedback at 1037thebuzz.com.
This is Sports Center.
Big win for Cameron Young over the weekend in golf. He becomes the 1,000th player to ever win a PGA tournament. Took home the Wyndham Championships. This is the first win for Young in his 4-year PGA Tour career. In NASCAR, it was William Byron who retook the championship lead with a win at Iowa. He's currently in first place in NASCAR standings with 770 points. Chase Elliott is in second, in fourth fourth with 7:19. Just 3 races left until the NASCAR playoffs begin. We're less than 4 weeks away until Arkansas football begins. They kick off their season on August 30th at 3:15 against Alabama A&M in Fayetteville. You can catch the game right here on 103.7 The Buzz and SEC Network. I'm Josh Neighbors for the Buzz Radio Network.
Each day to Drive Time Sports to hear Trey Biddy talk all things Razorbacks. Brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai, Arkansas's #1 Hyundai dealer, and Genesis of Conway, Arkansas's only Genesis dealer. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury.
Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create the local shelter agent?
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Shelter Agent Madison Buse in England, Matt Cooper in Russellville, or Todd Session in Morrilton today.
Stop and shop at our Conway and Little Rock showrooms. That's Hawks Homes. Has been serving Central Arkansas socks. We're the only manufactured and modular leader that can build your custom home from your plans. You dream it, we can build it. Hunting clubs, churches, classrooms, restaurants, daycare centers, modular office buildings, school dorms. Check them out online at hawkshomes.net.
What road? Whatever it is, Guatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect GuatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
You're back in the zone with Justin Acri and DJ Williams on the Buzz Radio Network.
Best time of day, it's 1:03.7 right now. Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Freddie Black from Plural. And the announcement today, and this is Simmons Bank's house now. In fact, Freddie, we were just talking in the break. Great timing. You guys have your logo being repainted on the field here, so that worked out nicely. I don't know if that was by design, but a nice touch.
I think they knew the marketing group was going to show up today, so it is good timing.
Give it a little refresher, and we'll be having high school football here not too far away, and then the Arkansas State game, week 2 of the season, which you guys have got to be thrilled about.
That's going to be exciting. It really is for the whole state, and I hope it sells out.
I do too. I'll be very disappointed if it doesn't. And I don't know what to expect, but I've heard good buzz on the number of tickets because I made a comment like about it, as a lot of people are who've been pining for it for decades. I'm still excited about it because I think both teams are going to be pretty good. I think you got a really interesting quarterback matchup, and both fan bases are excited about it. And then people are like, no, people are dying for these tickets. I'm like, oh, are they really? Well, apparently it's not sold out, but there was the same old story, right, from the golf course into the stadium. So if the weather's right, I imagine it'll be great. But anyway, what else do you guys get into football-wise this fall? You have any other football-related things besides?
No, we really did talking to the U of A about some women's stuff. So
okay, great. Let's talk about golf and the Simmons Bank Championship, which is coming up in October here at Pleasant Valley Country Club again. And I don't know that there's probably ever been a first-year event that got better pub afterwards from the players and everybody associated with it. You get
involved, and our first go here in Little Rock, it was a little bit scared, to be honest with you, but we had a great turnout. The community supported the tournament. Had some really top name players that everybody knows, and so it came together. We're real pleased, and the players chose us the tournament of the year. So
Just stood out to them. What makes a tournament special for them?
I think what they really enjoy is the crowd that showed up for the tournament. You know, they love to compete in front of a bunch of people, and you know, a lot of these players are used to that in the past, and they don't see it as much on the Champions Tour. So the event being here in Little Rock, and I think that was a big part of it.
So this will be year 2 for that event. What year is this for the Open over in Nashville? How many years have you guys done that?
This will be, you know, don't get me to 4 or 5, I think.
Okay.
I think 19, 20, yeah.
Was there any benefit, do you think, to making the first year here great from having the experience
of our marketing group and dealing with the PGA, and certainly George leading the effort and negotiating with the PGA and understanding how all that worked? Yeah, it was a great way to get our feet wet.
Yeah.
And certainly helped when we came to this event.
We were talking about interactions with Chris Kane, with some of the guys who have come to interact with many of the pro guys last year at the tournament.
Well, yeah, by happenstance, we went over and picked some of them up from their tournament in Virginia, and so I got to visit with them then, and one of them was Padre Harrington, and we lined him up to speak to the Downtown Rotary Club on Tuesday. So I picked him up, took him to the Rotary Club, and got to spend some time with him, and you know, he wound up being our champion. So it worked out great. But he is a great guy. Really enjoyed getting to know him.
Yeah, he's playing.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll
Yeah.
be in the top group for sure, I think.
And what about our guys, Arkansas guys? Are they in or
They're
out?
struggling. Ken's right on the bubble now. He's
Okay.
72nd or 3rd, I think, in money winnings. The top 70 make the first playoff event, which is the weekend before ours in Virginia. So the top 54 come here.
Okay. Well, I hope it works out.
Off of hip problems, and so he hadn't been able to play that much this year. So he's probably out of the mix.
And JD
is JD. You know, I don't think he's gonna make it.
He's rolling around in his Hooters money. You saw a story this last week that he makes like that is a really productive week.
And now he's a movie star.
He is a movie star.
So
I thought he was pretty good. Playing a guy that likes to party as a former golfer, I thought it was quite the stretch for him, and I thought he really executed it pretty nicely. So, well, I don't know, but I will guess that you have some insight as to who is coming to the touchdown club.
Yeah, no, I don't. I really usually I've sniffed something out by now, but I know nothing.
Okay.
And I even stopped by the marketing group office this morning to see if they had a list I could look at. Nope.
Listen, we're going to sponsor this thing, but I need these things to happen. Does Simmons ever try to lord any influence over David and say, hey, look,
none.
We're
Zero.
back again, but we really need this guy to come?
Zero.
Okay. Well, you should. Who would you want that hasn't been here? Anybody off the top of your head?
Wow, that's hard. I hadn't thought about that. That'd be a hard one. I need more than 2 seconds to think about
That's
that.
fair. I don't know who I would pick either.
I know him a little bit outside of this, and been on a hunting trip with him. A really nice guy, and I thought he did a great job.
I agree. Well, yeah, the folks who have come through have been so great, and I think you realize, even though these guys, many of them have been superstars for years and years. Terry's another one who turned a pro football career where he was a star into a pro media. I think it's a little more common than we probably think. As long as you put these guys, in a position where they can be one of us, they're happy to operate in that realm.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure they deal with a lot of folks who are knuckleheads, and it's not real fun for them. But I think if you treat them the right way, and they always get treated well here, things work out, kind of like with your tournament.
Well, David's got a reputation, and they all know who he is, and real comfortable coming here.
Yeah, the Touchdown Club you get. That's the one thing, that's the angle probably we don't talk enough about is when you do bring in guys who are a little bit edgy or controversial, what they say is going to pick up maybe a little more steam than someone who's a little more benign. And so it certainly paid off for the Touchdown Club from a notoriety standpoint. Again, you got Gruden coming in here, doing his mea culpa, having guys like Ray Lewis who have a little bit of a tarnished past, but I think generally are well thought of and well received. Yurchek got some heat over what he said.
Well, David does such a great job for the sponsors of the Touchdown Club, and our bank is really appreciative of our involvement.
Yeah.
It's really good for us in Central Arkansas.
Are you guys picking up golfers in Virginia again this year?
I hope to.
Yeah.
We hope to.
How do you decide who's going to get on the plane?
Well, it's kind of a negotiation. What we try, they do things for us in the community here, whether it's helping with the First Tee Clinic or going to Rotary Club, or we give them, so it's kind of a trade.
Yeah.
And
Rotary's on Tuesday?
It's on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Last year I mentioned Padre was there, but this year I booked the U of A chancellor. So
okay,
we're not going to do that Rotary, but we're going to do Rotary the week before. Michael and I'll probably go and just talk about the tournament.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, Freddie, we got to hit a break unless you want to hit anything else.
I just want to say tickets are for sale.
Yep.
Sale. We got some great, still tickets in 17. It's about to sell out. Chalets on 16, an upgraded ticket on 15, and of course our top ticket is the clubhouse ticket. So please get out there. We'd love to have everybody support the tournament, and we're trying to make it bigger and better this year.
Absolutely.
So, thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you. Freddie Black with Simmons Bank. Got him on the other side. We'll get a recap of the weekend at practice for the Hogs and take a look at what's coming up this week for Arkansas as far as practice goes. Stick around. It's the Zone. Again, we are about 20 minutes away from getting the Touchdown Club lineup here from War Memorial Stadium, courtesy of our friends at Simmons Bank.
Power Sports Can-Am and Sea-Doo of Russellville is the place to be. From the cost-effective and customizable Sea-Doo Switch pontoon boat to a one-of-a-kind Can-Am Spider, Hubbard Power Sports has what you're looking for. Looking for a Sea-Doo personal watercraft? Don't worry, 140 horsepower Can-Am Maverick R, we've got it all. With a large selection of Can-Am four-wheelers and side-by-side models in stock now. Stop by and see us in Russellville. Visit us at hubbardpowersports.com.
Summer's here. It won't be long before you're planning a road trip. Get to Point S, Arkansas to get your car ready for it. Off-road tires for your pickup, ATV tire, Umo, Toyo, Falcon, Blackhawk, Fortune, and more. And their Promise Plus road hazard protection to give you peace of mind. Stop by any Point S Arkansas store. Bartlett Tire in Heber Springs, Tire Town in Benton, R&D Tire in Conway, and Fleet Tire in Pottsville or Russellville. Online at pointstire.com.
Summer is here, and so are soggy wands and muddy paw prints. A Caddies Touch Landscaping specializes in transforming outdoor spaces with refined solutions, drainage systems, retaining walls, and flower beds designed with ease of care in mind. Plus custom decks, fencing, and synthetic turf design to help clean up your kids' play areas and pet runs. Customize your space to 942-2770. Let a Caddies Touch turn your dirt into dreams.
With Whataburger's new Bigger Better Bundles, you can upgrade your favorite Whata meal into 2 meals. You can add a kid's Whata meal for $4 and take it home to your little you. Or you can add a Whata Wings 9-piece for $6 and just enjoy that now. Yep, with Bigger Better Bundles, you can bring the kids along, or give it to your Uncle Mo, or stop by and surprise your coworkers. Upgrade your Whata meal with Bigger Better Bundles for a limited time, only at What a Burger.
We got the big deals at the
Barry Harrison at the Big Lot, where you'll find the biggest selection, the biggest savings, and now you'll find Big Steve Landers.
That's right, Arkansas. I'm back in the car business at the Big Lot. Don't be confused. The real Steve Landers deals are at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram.
Road in Benton. The
When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic Institute. With state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas. MS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Welcome back in the zone. If you like the sound of our voices, you should see our faces. Check our live stream on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Now, back to the show. He's had his finger on the pulse of Arkansas sports more than anyone else. You've heard him on Drive Time Sports for years. Now, Biddy of hogsports.com. He's brought to you by Tire Town, Pointe and Benton, carrying all the top tire brands. There's no stress with Pointe. Check them out at pointetstire.com.
Apologies, Trey. Got the Touchdown Club announcement coming up here in mere moments. Thanks to our friends at Simmons Bank, but we are appreciative of you, sir. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. It's football. Glad to be out there, man.
No doubt. Practice moving into the 9 o'clock hour, I understand, this week. Is that right? After some early starts last week?
Yeah, well, they just had the one early start. They started at 6:20, I think, on the morning. So they started early, which was good because it was a downpour. I mean, the bottom dropped out around 8 o'clock. So that was good. They got off to an early start. And then they've been 9:15 every day since. They'll be 9:15 pretty much the whole time. I'm not sure what time they'll kick those off, but I would assume about the same time. One day they're randomly going at 8:45, but otherwise every practice is at 9:15.
All right, well, let's talk about the weekend. I know we had tight ends and special teams in focus over the weekend, and we heard from a few of the guys in the group, and I know there was a lot of talk about, the 12 personnel and who's going to be involved in that. So what would you come away with from that?
Yeah, well, I really like Rohan Jones. He was a guy that, he's from Canada originally, Montreal, speaks French at the press conference. Just Je m'appelle Trey, comment allez-vous, that kind of stuff. But I think that loosened him up a little bit, and, we had a good press conference. He was a guy that on spring practice, day one, he jumped out. I was like, oh, okay, this guy might really help him. His numbers this summer were really solid also. I'm not saying he's like as good of a tight end or going to be as good as Luke Has was when he was healthy, but Luke Has isn't touching a catapult speed, miles per hour. He's not touching those kind of numbers. So I think that they have a chance to have a really reliable guy there, although I did see him in the spring drop a couple of passes. He dropped a long ball. He dropped a touchdown pass. I have not seen him drop anything so far in fall camp. But he's a guy that I think can be a weapon for him. Physically, you can tell he's been in a weight room. So I think he's got a chance to really help them. And Jaden Platt is the guy that they really need to come on. He's got just so much upside, 6'5", 265. He looks like he's lost some weight since he shed a little bit of baby fat. Platt was the number 4 ranked tight end prospect in the country coming out of high school. He was the same class as Luke Has, higher rated, hasn't produced at the same level at Texas A&M. He's had some older guys. And, I think struggled a little bit adjusting to the offense in the spring, but has it down now. And that's partly due to Andres Poshka helping him. The transfer last year from Eastern Michigan, caught a couple of touchdown passes, Mississippi State game pass. He's not going to stretch the field. He's more like an old world tight end, 6'6", 270 or so, 265. So that's that room. I came out of spring a little bit concerned overall because Platt was beat up. I just didn't know what they had with him. I know what Askey's strengths and limitations are, but they seem to be really encouraged with them so far. I guess I'm kind of more wait and see, although I do think Rohan Jones is going to be a good asset for him.
How many guys do you expect to get in the mix? We were talking about the personnel a minute ago. I mean, obviously they'll play at least 2 at one time.
Yeah.
How many guys do you expect to be in the rotation?
Well, probably those 3. They down at the goal line last year. They ran some 13 personnel with the 3 tight ends on the field at the same time. But I think that I think you're going to see Rohan the majority of the time, and I think maybe Platt gets worked in a little bit more because he's more of a threat in the passing game. Platt kind of brings that. His upside, I think, is really high, and he overlapped with Bobby Petrino at Texas A&M back when Petrino was running a handcuffed Jimbo Fisher offense with the Aggies. So they have an overlap there, and he was actually committed. Platt was committed to Stanford at one point when Morgan Turner was there. So that's how that relationship ended. That to kind of fall back on when he went in the transfer portal.
Yeah, the catches last year not significant for that position. Trey down to 32 catches, and Bobby Petrino and to be successful tight ends, it's a synonymous thing. They weren't very productive last year, and again, your personnel group, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken scratch. It's not like this is a great pass catching group they had. Has wasn't healthy all year. That might have changed things if he had been.
Well, we'll see. I mean, a tight end can be a good friend, obviously, for a quarterback. But I don't know if they'll target him more. To me, if I need a catch and it's a key moment, then I'm probably looking for 88, Rohan Jones. I think wide receiver is just so to be determined. We'll talk to Ronnie Fouch and Omega Blake, Raylan Sharp, Monte Harrison today, but there's still a lot that's to be determined, I think, at wide receiver. I think Sharp's going to be a reliable pass catcher. I like Omega Blake too. I think you can feel comfortable with Rohan Jones, so I could possibly see more passes going their way. They got to stay healthy there, though. I mean, they're just after those 3. You're talking about Gavin Garrettson, and Maddox Lassiter. Nothing wrong with Maddox Lassiter.
Does it help in the run game as we wrap things up here? 6'7", 260, whatever. I mean, is he a guy that can play? Think in the run game at least?
I hope not.
Okay.
I hope not. I hope they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, in the portal age, you should be relying on guys in their 20s.
I gotcha. Makes sense. It's kind of a busy Monday for us, but thanks for coming on.
You don't get a lot of good. You don't get a lot of good tight end commentary, I know. So on the show. So.
Well, of all the days for DJ to be
Williams.
off. Yeah, here we go. So you were the man today. That's good. Thanks for the insights. Yeah. All right, wide receivers in focus today. Like Trey said, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But thanks, brother. Appreciate it. All right, we're back. We're going to find out who's a-coming to the Little Rock Touchdown Club after this.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Guatney Chevrolet dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GuatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Calling all agents for the $950,000 Agent 7 operation at Southland Casino Hotel. Earn entries daily in August and September to win huge free play prizes for 2025 BMW. Join us August 30th and September 27th when 10 lucky spies will win up to $10,007 in free play or your own getaway car. A 2025 BMW. You've got your mission. Agent 7 operation at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Listen for Champs and Chumps on Fridays during the Zone. Brought to you by Washita Bar and Grill on Central Avenue in Hot Springs and BK.
Inviting you to listen to me call the Hogs on 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
Host to a civil disturbance training session over the weekend. More than 230 Arkansas National Guardsmen and police officers were involved. Learn more about how to de-escalate tense public situations like a protest, how to use gas masks. Officers dressed like civilians to act as the aggressors for this training. The superintendent at Equipment Public Schools is now on probation for 2 years for violating district policy during an investigation into bullying inside the school locker room. KRK first uncovered the bullying allegations in November of last year. Two mothers claim staff did not do enough to handle the together Friday for its monthly meeting. Members say Superintendent Michael Stacks violated district policy by allowing the alleged bullies to stay on the football team despite being placed on court-ordered probation.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center.
Well, after a pleasant first weekend of August, we've got temperatures warming up on this Monday with highs back into the lower 90s and mostly sunny conditions. Temperatures drop into the lower 70s overnight with mostly clear conditions. We're going to see hot temperatures heading into your Tuesday with highs in the mid to lower 90s. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Christopher Pipkin.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car.
And fleet managers find the high-quality used semi-trucks that they need to grow their business. Their on-site financing team provides flexible financing options and comprehensive warranty and protection plans. Plus, their attached shop provides convenient and efficient reconditioning. Visit Aero Truck Sales at 12101 Eanes Road, North Little Rock, or view their inventory at ARROWtruck.com.
Are you kidding? Do you realize how much is going on? Basketball, hockey, baseball, golf. It's like 8 seasons in one. It's the season of action.
And we can bet on all those with the Oakland Sports app.
That's the spirit. Now let's go lock in some bets.
Receive a 10% profit boost on qualifying 3-leg parlays. Bet all summer long. Oakland Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the pigskin who was rescued 529 days after going missing on the rugged Kangaroo Island off the coast of Australia. She seemed to manage the ordeal well, being fit and healthy. She'd even gained 4 pounds. Valerie was happy to be back with her family on the Australian mainland. And you just know that a movie about her exploits is going to be made, perhaps called The Dachshund Gang, along the lines of the Doberman Gang, where those mutts right wrongs, rescue little old ladies, and solve mysteries. If those mutts could talk, they'd tell us to get thee to Doublebee's for a refreshing drink, a snacky treat, or something a little heartier. Doublebee's is an Arkansas business for Arkansans, and we'll make exceptions for Australian dogs, too. That's Doublebee's.
When seconds making a play, sure's got to come.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with the guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen.
You can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
See shelter agents Seth Hobbs, Larissa Callie, or Matt Steele in Bryant today.
You're in the zone, coming to you live from the Oakland Hot Springs Studio. Oakland, Arkansas's only casino resort. Now, here's Justin Acri and DJ Williams. The Red Wag Report is brought to you by Ortho Now. your walk-in solution for orthopedic care at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health.
Touchdown Club announcement for 2025, thanks to our friends at Simmons Bank. But right now, it's all about our friends at Ortho Now and UAMS. And tight ends were in focus over the weekend. Special teams, too. So we got a little bit on both of those. Rolling route from Canada to Maine to Montana State. And now pass-catching tight end threat for the Hogs. And talked over the weekend about playing with Taylon Green, his QB1.
Taylon's a great guy, and we're all neighbors. Like, 3 of us live on the same street, so I think we spend a lot of time together building chemistry, building a connection between us, and kind of like the timing aspect. Like, he knows where to put the ball for Jaden, he knows where to put the ball for me, and he's done a great job of like bringing us in, bring us to throw on the weekends when there's no mandatory workouts. So I think he did a great job with us.
All right. We've talked a lot about the tight ends today. Let's turn our focus. And Scott Fountain spoke this weekend about his special teams guys. And one of them, Cam Shanks, the transfer from UAB, is on the Paul Hornung Award watch list, one of a couple of preseason lists that he's on. And that goes to the most versatile player in major college hails from. And returns. Hopefully Arkansas can break some big things this year. Here's Scott Fountain talking about his return teams.
At punt returner, we I'm trying to think. We have Mega Play, which is back to working a little bit, and also Sharp's back to working, but that too. Kickoff return. Of course, Rodney Hill, I think he's had a really good spring, really good camp. And the batting kid is a freshman here, has kind of caught my attention a little bit. But we'll see. And also, I think you may see Braylon Russell as an off return or returner occasionally, just a big body. And, he's not afraid of contact, so I'm kind of interested to see how he does. We started working from an off returner right now. Better returners, better athletes to choose from this year than I've had in the 6 years I've been here, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Ooh. Well, I'm excited about that, too. Let's go. All right, the other thing is the kicking game, and, of course, Arkansas really set at punter with Devin Bale, who's one of the best. Here is Scott Fountain on Starzik and the competition for the kicking duties.
Go back to the spring. He had a good spring. I can say a great spring. He did well over in the practice fields, not as well in the game situations, but the first 2 days, the third day, today was our charting part that we do over here at the stadium when everybody else is over to practice, and he's done really well there as well. And I think I'm pleased where he's at. He's young, so you know how freshmen are going to react. But I think his personality is a lot like Cam Little's. So I'm excited about him. And the most important thing for him is just make field goals this year.
Is Starzik the guy? I mean, if you guys
we always compete. We're trying, letting Blake Ford compete. I think Blake's, transferred back here from North Texas. Charlie Vonderbeeden's here. We're letting them compete. So, I think after camp, we'll make that for sure.
There you go. All right, we're here at War Memorial Stadium. It's 11:08. Cam Ball also on the Werfel Trophy watch list, which goes to a premier player with community service focus, Werfel, former Florida Gator star, who was a Touchdown Club guest, I believe, a few years ago, if I remember correctly. It seems like I've had so many different guys over the years, it's hard to keep them all straight. But anyway, that's the situation. Wide receivers are going to be doing the post-practice interviews a little bit later on today. Still waiting on David to get underway here for the Touchdown Club. Not yet. Last year he jumped the gun on us. This year we're ahead of the game. So, Christian, since we'll be kind of busy, I think the rest of the...
Let me get to it.
Yeah, total curveball. Sorry about that. We're in studio all week except for Friday. We're going to go up on the hill and maybe have a little chance to catch some practice, and it's also move-in day for the kids up there. We're going to try to get some special guests on. So DJ and I will be live up in Fayetteville on Friday. We are around for a book signing. He's in town for that. So he's got a special event going on there, and he's got an event tomorrow night. We'll be previewing that, but we're in the studio, I guess, on just Wednesday and Thursday. So busy week for us, and we are thrilled to be here today. And again, thanks to our friends.
Brought to you by Caddies Touch Landscape. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA caddy, so he knows what good grass looks like. If you'd like to take your yard to the next level, then hit up Josh and his crew at a Caddies Touch Landscape. 501-794.
All of the NFL Hall of Famers from over the weekend. Hopefully this is on the same page as the one you got up, Christian. But got a little bit of sound from there. A couple of guys at least we'll hear from. And, Sterling Sharp is one we talked about, a guy that we'd love to get here. Eric Allen out to be a Hall of Fame tight end. And Jared Allen. So Eric Allen and Jared Allen, no relation, but both great defensive players in their own right. Anyway, we've got a little bit here from Antonio Gates and his journey from Kent State to the Hall of Fame.
You're talking, I just went to school 30 minutes up the street. I always knew Canton, Ohio existed. Never in a million years thought I would be here, because I played here and get here and get to see the guys, and it's like football heaven. And I think for me, it's just that obviously it's an unbelievable achievement in the game of football, but it speaks so many values about my life in itself and how many dots you have to connect for this to happen. Football is just a catalyst of something like this, but so many things have to go right. So many the right people have to pour into you, and then you have to still have luck through it all. So it's just an unbelievable experience because of my journey, particularly how I traveled to get here one of one. Nobody else has this uniqueness about getting here because most of these guys played college football. They dreamed of being a Pro Football Hall of Fame. They wanted to go to the NFL. I'm literally the only one that never wanted to go to the NFL, never wanted to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And here I am as a Pro Football.
What?
I believe I saw he is the only player to make the NFL Hall of Fame that did not play college football.
Makes sense. He is one of one, as he said. Sterling Sharp is one of two brothers to be in the Hall of Fame, the only set to do it, and he took from Sterling.
Because, see, when I tell you that you have to learn to follow before you can lead, and the only reason I'm standing here, the only reason I told you all those stories, everything I did athletically, everything I did for an audience of one. I didn't care what was written, said, thought, talked about, prayed about. Everything I did was for an audience of one. You see, when you grow up in rural South Georgia, there's a person to find to look outside our own dinner table to find a role model. Well, since I only got about 2.5 minutes left, I'm going to do this thing the right way. As one half of the first brothers selected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you got to come up here and stand next to me, my man. You got to do it.
There you go. Sharing the spotlight. A couple other ones, baseball related. The Cubs get a game ball from me. They have the second best Brewers, who held on to first place over the weekend, beating up on the second-rate Washington Nationals. But Justin Turner gets a game ball for a walk-off home run at 40 years old yesterday to beat the Baltimore Orioles. So kudos to him. He's only batting .217. He's got 3 homers, but a pinch hit and a great way to finish off the weekend for the Cubbies. And also to the Royals. I hope you're listening, Joe Klein. How about 5 runs in the 10th to beat the Blue Jays 7-4? What a huge 10th inning for them. Down a couple runs and end up coming back to win it in the 10th inning. So kudos to the Royals as well.
I'm going to give a game ball to the Marlins. They swept the Yankees over the weekend. In doing so, they got to fight. With that win, they became 25-24 all time versus the Yankees. They are the only MLB franchise to have a winning record versus the Yankees.
That's shocking.
Yeah, the Marlins, who are perennially bad, other than they actually just won.
Yeah, well, you know.
Anyway.
Can I give a game ball? Oh. Go ahead. You get some more? I was going to give a game ball and a jockstrap to the same guy.
I was going to give a game ball to the Brewers over the weekend. I know. I keep
Sorry, right at the time.
Dang it. They scored 56 runs in they got 56 hits over a 3-game span. That's the most ever in their franchise history.
Yeah, I think I saw they scored 12 yesterday, but yeah, they are rolling right now. A couple other things here. Luka gets a game ball for his huge contract he signed. And meters at an event over the weekend, but then he gets a jockstrap for taunting Kenny Bednarik, who then shoved him afterwards. So we love interesting, but I didn't like the way Noah Lyles stared him down as he crossed the finish line. Just not necessary. You're a bad dude. You don't have to be that guy. Anyway, they're going to face off again, so it won't be long before they're back on the track together. And I will say, too, I think he ran 3 heats and won the final. And so he may have been a little more tuckered out maybe than Lyles was, who only ran 1 heat because he guess he's already secured that part, but good for him.
We've got a few feedback talking about our audio on the stream, and yeah, I'm aware that it's messed up. I'm going to have to probably restart our computer at some point, but not the best time to do it. I'm going to give a jockstrap to the MLB Speedway game. Apparently, it went over pretty poorly. They had weather issues.
Yes.
They were eating hot dogs without a bun. They were eating
no nacho, just chips. Basically, they chips.
Yeah, good idea, executed poorly.
Yeah, they had 90,000 lined up to go, and then apparently there was less than half that actually showed up after the rain delay, so that's a bummer. But anyway. If you're listening on Facebook, sometimes the audio can be better elsewhere. YouTube may be just as bad. I don't know that
I
it's
checked
probably
out
any better, but
Twitter and Twitch, and I had the same issues, so I think it's just I'm going to have to stop the stream.
let's just. I mean, if you want to do it, if it sounds terrible, people aren't going to listen on there anyway. If you want to reset it, that's fine. We could do that. We're about to take the Touchdown Club announcement live, though, here, and I know David's up there.
I'll wait until after that.
Well, he's not quite there yet, so we're still doing sponsors, I guess. Yeah, let me hit some D3 Auto Sales text offerings here. Rockies came back to beat the Pirates from being down 10-1 in the first, scored like 5 in the bottom of the ninth to win. That's incredible. Good for them. Game ball to the Marlins. They played Sweet Caroline heading in the ninth on Sunday before finishing off the sweep. Brenda, thanks for the heads up on the audio. Thanks for the 501 on the audio. Thank you, Hickey and Hot Springs on the audio. I'm Dean from North Little Rock. Justin, they still don't have wide receivers yet, and yet you argue with people for saying what Trey just said. Humble yourself. Hey, JW's got a new burner account. Awesome. JW, that's great. Excellent work. We're working on our audio. So I can make sure I'm in the car. Can you tell me what time they're going to announce the Touchdown Club now? Oh, this guy says Colin Kaepernick. That would be a controversial one. That'd be interesting. We're about to find out who's coming. That would be. Is Chad Morris talking? God, listen. Pat McAfee would be good. Somebody said Piggy Small suggests. This guy says I grew up when I rode the go-karts, too. When looks like the hog.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah?
I'm going to assume Morning Mayhem didn't have issues, or we would have heard about it, maybe.
Don't know. LC says we still. I don't know what that's about. Okay, I think we're done. Here you find on the Buzz app here in DFW. There you go. That audio apparently is working okay. But I still would suggest that maybe it's something to do with our streaming, folks. I don't know. We had some issues. Oh, there we go. Ray Lewis is up on the they're playing videos of all the guys who have been in the past right now as we get settled in here. I guess I could pop this audio up and we can hear from them. Peyton Manning talking. I guess. Now let's do that. We're here at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. We're about to find out the 2025 lineup as we revel in the celebration of the 2024 and previous years. Here's Peyton Manning.
Great programs that the Touchdown Club supports, and they told me what a great event it was, and I sure had a great time.
Great experience, wonderful crowd, a lot of Packer fans. I'm a little bit surprised in Little Rock that there's that many Packer fans, but they're everywhere. I don't know how that many people show up for this event. It was special.
I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about it. I'm not jealous. They say, oh, you're jealous because of all the money. Well, I would like to make 35. You pay my ass $35 million. I'd have played better than Aaron Rodgers played Sunday. Do that.
I was concerned about being a college coach because I would have you on the death penalty probation within 6 months. But now that you're paying players, and I know a bank with $27 billion, I'd love to have the arc.
Well, I got to tell you this, though. Say, Coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave? What door you want me out of, brother?
Well, I think the Touchdown Club does a great job once a year, and I'll do it for the next 15 weeks, which is fantastic. And the crowd they have, I mean, I'm sure they had a great crowd for Ray Lewis and sure Brett Favre, so I think they do a great job.
Ohio State was undefeated. They're going to the playoff. They lost to Michigan, and their players, this is the next generation. Their players don't say that.
Well, let me tell you something. I had an opportunity to go to a lot of banquets over the years, and here I've had one of the best experiences that I've had in quite some
these over the years, right? But to have a crowd that is as interactive, that is as knowledgeable, that cares as much about the sport as we do, was really fun. And I mean, it's always fun to kind of go to an area of the country that's as crazy about football as I am. So it made me feel very much at home.
Grab Chris's arm, the play's right here, and I'm looking at him, and he's like, and I can't even talk to him. And he's like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm holding his arm like this because I didn't want the other coach to see me watching it. So I stood.
What an incredibly special event.
These would be way better if you knew who was speaking on all these, so I'm not going to put you through all this, but that was Urban Meyer a moment ago, Greg McElroy, Laura Rutledge is talking right now, so I don't want to cut anybody off. Touchdown Club, and appropriately so. So when we get to the announcement on the new lineup, we will certainly join back on the podium here in a second with our audio. Did want to mention, too, another game ball didn't pass out. Cameron Young got his first PGA Tour victory over the weekend after 7 runner-up finishes, and he rolled to victory, 268 to win the Wyndham Championship. Basically a rout for him, but good for him. And after being so close so long, that must have been awfully satisfying to see him, or for him to finish it off like that and be able to get a cruise and be able to walk up 18 knowing that you've already secured the victory. That is such a cool experience for him. So congratulations. And I know he's just on the outside looking in to potentially make it from the past that. So I don't know if work his way in. He's got a couple more tournaments to make a case for himself, and we'll see if he can and do that. And I'm looking forward to that. I don't know the dates on that. Trey, you know the Ryder Cup dates off the top of your head? What is it? Notre Dame weekend, about 2025. That's always an awesome event. September 26th through the 28th. So, okay. David Basil is at the podium, the accolades of the Little Rock Touchdown Club. And again, they deserve it. They have earned it. and it has been such an incredible 21 years. But let's head inside, and then we'll hear about this year's lineup. We're all waiting with bated breath.
210 conference titles. If you could, you guys know I'll go through a little sponsor roll call each week at the meeting, and I won't go into as much detail, but I did want to recognize our sponsors here today. We already mentioned Simmons Bank. George, we appreciate you, Chris. And Jay, I know, Jay, you're here already. You're ready to roll, Jay. Next up, but I appreciate Kurt Jeffries is here, Warren Simpson, Kurt Bradbury, and Warren Stevens he's busy over at in the UK, being an ambassador, but we appreciate Stevens being a sponsor and supporter of Trey and his family. A new sponsor, Midtown Plumbing, Jim Coleman and Kyle Jackson. We welcome them aboard. Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings, Judy Henry, Charlie Coleman, Antoine Phillips, and the whole gang at Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings. Double B, Steve Lytle, and Ed Light, we appreciate them. Oakland Sports, Wayne's here all the way from Hot Springs. Sissy's Log Cabin, Bill and Sherry Jones. Summerwood Sports and Family Market Stores, David and Doug Hendricks and family. Roller Funeral Homes, Renata Jenkins, Bill Booker and their team. I know their CEO and an amazing group of doctors they have. Advantage Service Company, Kevin Brooks. War Memorial Stadium, John Latch and Mark Pike. Farm Bureau, Pulaski County, Todd Dennis and Stephen Reichard. Other new sponsor, Arkansas Spine and Pain. Scott Davis is the CEO with Dr. Amir Qureshi. We appreciate them. I'm telling you, we got 2 pages of sponsors. You got to have them to pay for all these people we're bringing in. 103.7 The Buzz. We're going live right now with a live stream and a live radio broadcast with the Little Rock Touchdown Club. So thanks to The Buzz. Twin City Limo, and Hatcher Agency. Greg Hatcher, couldn't do it without him. I think his son Lane is here today. Greg couldn't be here, but thanks to him and also Popeye, all his help with our picking up our guests. Heather Baker, thank you for your support. The DoubleTree, they are a great partner. We appreciate them. And back running all the computers and cameras and all that, Arkansas PBS, Anita Bryant, Tanisha. It's great to work with them. All the things you've heard about the PB First Class, and thanks to them, our Touchdown Club team, Dwayne Duncan, doing our photography for 10, 15 years. Chris Kane and R.J. Hawk, appreciate them. Rex Nelson not here today, but he's been with us since year 1. Our amazing volunteer team, we got the best group of volunteers in the country. Nobody touches it. And our executive director, Debbie Wong. Could not do it without everyone together. All right. Here we go. You guys ready for the lineup? Now, listen, it's hard to be better than every year. So I don't know if this is better or not. But I know we've got some really good ones. I did have others. So first, let's start you know what I should have thought of? We should have had we should have had to Remember the Titans running here. I should. RG, will you hum? Will you hum that? There you go. Thank you. We'll just have a little background. All right. So you guys know we always bring in 4 folks every year. In Monday, August 18th. This will be his 5th visit to the Touchdown Club. Great to have Coach Pittman back. Got a tough year ahead, tough schedule. Excited that he sees this as we're appreciative of that. 7th visit to the Touchdown Club. So 7 times his visit down here would be Monday, September 15th. Butch Jones, Monday, October 6th. And then Nathan Brown, who always does a great job from UCA, Monday, October 13th. 8th season at UCA, his 7th season coming to the Touchdown Club. All right. So we're going to start working our way up to what I believe is the crescendo at the end, who I'm really excited about having. First we're going to start. I thought it would be great to have a combo of 2 of the Razorback greats that played together. They overlapped. They dealt with 2 different kind of coaches, Danny Ford and Houston Nutt. Their names are all over the record books, but it's together. One of the greatest running backs and one of the greatest receivers in the history. Of course, Madre is a successful businessman, and Anthony is still winning championships over at PA. So excited about that. That's Monday, November 10th. One of the most respected college football coaches in the country, and one that has been to Little Rock before. So one of the things I try to do, y'all, is try not to bring back guests more than once. But every once in a while, it calls for it. And national championship as head coach for the Longhorns in 2005. We had him here last in 2018. He'll be the speaker for our Ken Hatfield Sportsmanship Award. Mac Brown of University of Texas and University of North Carolina. 24th. We have not had this guy back in 10 years. He's one of the classiest guys I know, one of the greatest offensive linemen in football history. Outland Trophy winner, All-American in college, one of the greatest pros to ever play. Played in 3 Super Bowls, winning 2 of those. He's a College Football Hall of Famer. Name one of May, everybody. Mark May, formerly of ESPN. I think our next guest is the ultimate compliment to our club that this gentleman would take the time to be a part. We've sort of set a tradition years ago of inviting this speaker is one of the most powerful men in the country. If you think about it, he was last year in 2019, so we do this about every 5 years. But on November 4th, Tuesday, Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, will be coming to the Little Rock Touchdown Club. September 29th, one half of one of the greatest running back duos of all time. Razorback fans know his name very well. He actually helped start College Game Day with Lee Corso. Before it was called NIL. And, of course, we had his teammate here last year, Eric Dickerson. Of course, I'm talking about Craig James of SMU and of the Patriots. So we'll have him on Monday, September 29th. This nipped me off to this. This will be one of the most unique guests we've ever had. I've spent literally 5 weeks negotiating to get her here. Some of you probably some of you ladies may recognize her name. Ben Glass was a member of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders from 1984 to 1989, where she was the first cheerleader to be invited back without having to go through customary audition process. But what she's known for since 1991, MT for about 15 years. The last 2 years they've been on Netflix. One of the hottest shows in Netflix is the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. So on October, I think it's October 20th, Tuesday, Kelly Finglass of the Dallas Cowboys. I might. We'll see. Depends on what Jessica says. Next up, I'm really excited about this guest on Monday, October 27th. This is the only time we could get her because her schedule is so full. As you hear, that's one of the best award-winning broadcasters in the business. She's been doing it for 30 years. One of the hardest-working broadcasters you can find. You name the sport, this broadcaster probably covered it. Her schedule is exhausting. We're forcing to get her. It's ESPN's Holly Rowe. All right, next for the week of the historic Arkansas versus Notre Dame game, I wanted to bring in one of the Fighting Irish greats to give us some input. This coach and went on to become one of the greatest in NFL history. He's in both the College Football Hall of Fame and the National Football Hall of Fame. He was last year at the Touchdown Club 10 years ago. He is a class act. Tim Brown of Notre Dame and, of course, the Los Angeles Raiders. I thought it would be appropriate. What's behind me here? There's nothing behind me. I just see you looking up. There was one year where the players were put on the screen before I said them. So not many people know this, but this particular player was at our first year's meeting as a high school senior. And he's been with us we've watched his journey go from a high school senior here at Pulaski football. He was a two-time Heisman runner-up. This year he's going to be honored at the Texas A&M game with a special patch. We thought it'd be great to bring him back in honor. Yeah, some may not remember, but he was actually, we did a high school banquet the first year, and he was a senior in high school. So we've had every 4 or 5 years, and I thought with him being honored that it would be a great time to do it. All right, our last two speakers, one of the greatest and most dominant players to ever step, all who have studied the game would agree. Just like last year's three guests, Brett Favre, Ray Lewis, and Eric Dickerson, this player was chosen on the NFL's 100-year anniversary team. He created a new style of defense, jumping back into coverage. He was a three-time Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL and a two-time Super Bowl champion. Just like Michael Jordan is known as MJ, this Touchdown Club speaker is also known by his. And last but not least, we have already moved this meeting for our last speaker that I'm going to announce. It will be the second meeting for Peyton Manning or Brett Favre. That's the kind of crowd we're expecting. Just like Lawrence Taylor, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. As a matter of fact, he did it as both a player and a coach. As a matter of fact, he's in college as a player, then as a head coach, then also going to win a Super Bowl. As a matter of fact, he won two Super Bowls, and the best part, he's coming back to where it all started because this coach was a Razorback player and assistant coach. All right, so we're the only touchdown club in America that meets 15 straight weeks. State and our high school players do. We can't do it without you. All right,
there you go. That is the announcement of the Little Rock Touchdown Club lineup. Sam Pittman, Hunter Yurchek, Nathan Brown, Butch Jones, and then you've got Madre Hill and Anthony now. So Trey can help me walk through these as far as dates go coming up in a bit. Matt Brown, championship coach, Mark May, who's won a title in the Super Bowl and one of the all-time college greats as well. Greg Sankey, the crew from SMU back in the day, back when getting paid was not allowed, but they were kind of setting the bar. They were well ahead of their cheerleaders. Be interesting stories with her. I'm sure Holly Rowe, who is a favorite, she's been on the zone before. She came in for the Downtown Tip-Off Club over in North Little Rock years ago, and she was a great guest. Tim Brown, who is not only an all-time great coach, by the way, should have given a game ball, Christian, to the Wise Guys who have earned their way into the championship game. They'll be playing in Minnesota, the Duluth Lunkers, next weekend for the title in their very first season. So pretty remarkable season for them. And Darren McFadden needs no introduction or explanation. Lawrence Taylor, same, and Jimmy Johnson, same. So pretty darn great group again, and we'll look forward to our 15 weeks for the Touchdown Club, I guess.
I don't think
Lawrence
it's that
Taylor, maybe a little bit, but not much.
It's not that controversial.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Maybe if the
Go
Craig
ask Lawrence
James was
Taylor.
like in 2009 or something.
Or 2020. I mean, a lot's changed in 5 years. We're going to get our sponsor of the weekly appearance coming up in a second. Scott Davis will join us. He's at a new spot, and he is still in support of our appearances there, and I really appreciate that. So let's hit a break. It's 11:39. We'll come back in a moment, and we'll talk to Scott. And if you want to join us, Papa 1-661-1037. Come on with it if you want to join us. And I guess we can ask, who's your favorite guest for this year as well?
In the break, I'm going to reset this computer and stream, so we may not have it back by the next.
Now you're in the zone, and we are live on the road at the Little Rock Touchdown Club announcement at War Memorial Stadium. Again, thanks to our friends at Simmons Bank. We appreciate them very much. And after we get done here, maybe a little celebration of cash would be in order. There's plenty to celebrate, certainly. Any special event,